So this is homework for section 5.1, problem number 3. The version I have is the function negative 1 over 8x minus 4. We want to find the horizontal asymptote, range, y-intercept, and the graph. But as a matter of fact, you may realize right away that if I had known the graph, the rest problem would be a piece of cake, which can be directly reading from the graph. So that's why I'm going to find the graph first. In order to find that function clearly, I want to start with 1 over 8 to the power of x. Whatever comes to follow the order of calculation. So I need to handle x minus 4 first, and then I'm going to flip it. So generally speaking, the way to look at it is to treat your function, first of all, as, let's say, g of x. Then the new function is g of x minus 4. And if you were to treat this function as s of x, then the new function is negative s of x. So the first and second step, hopefully, is relatively intuitive for everyone. The first one is changing with respect to x inside the parentheses, so it's a horizontal modification. So it's shift right by 4 units. And the second one is flipping. It's outside the parentheses. It's a vertical modification, so it's a reflection. It's vertical, so it's reflect with respect to the x-axis to guarantee it's vertical. So let's go ahead, sketch the graph. All exponential functions would either look like this or look like that, where the point in the middle of the y-intercept is going to be 0, 1. So let's mark my point 0, 1, because as you can tell, the base is 1 over 8, so the larger x is, the smaller the function value would be, so it would be going down. So this is my graph of 1 over 8 to the power of x. After the first step of manipulation, I'm going to shift towards the right. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4, it's 1. So this is my graph for my function, which is 1 over 8x to the power of minus 4. And then the last step is to flip it with respect to the x-axis, so you end up with something which looks like that. And my bad. And because clearly I'm approaching to the x-axis, then shifting towards the right, I'm still approaching to the x-axis. Then flipping it, I'm still approaching to the x-axis. So that's how the graph is going to look like. Therefore, you may realize my horizontal asymptote is still the same thing, y equals 0. My range, the only thing that's affect my height is a flip. So I'm going all the way down to negative infinity up to 0. So my range is supposed to be negative infinity up to 0, excluding 0. Y-intercept, I mean, technically you can read the graph, but the simplest way is always to do a quick evaluation. To put the input to be 0. Therefore, what you end up with is negative 1 over 8 to the power of negative 4, which is the same as negative 8 to the power of 4, which, of course, you could have simplified it if you want to. And the graph, since we've sketched it, hopefully it's relatively easy for you to realize what's the correct one.